Will you be wanting the back pod, sir?
Middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then? Much more subtle.
This is the 2002 Lamborghini Murcielago. Just saying those words is enough to get a car person waddling for a new set of undies. This is my third pair already. But just wait until I tell you something that makes this Lamborghini 10 times more special and 35% more valuable than an ordinary Murcielago. It's a 6-speed manual. The Ferrari's the nice girl that you take home to meet mom and dad. The Lamborghini, that's the chick you see on the side that you met at the strip club, and she wasn't a spectator. Was the first V12 supercar to emerge from behind Lamborghini's Audi-owned doors. Murcielago is Spanish for bat, and was also the name of one of the strongest fighting bulls in the 1800s, who survived being stabbed 28 times, that was then gifted to a notable breeder. That breeder's name was Mura. The command for Lamborghini's tech directors was to civilize the Diablo, but they needed something fresh, as this was Lamborghini's first new design in 11 years. So they started by carrying over the basic Diablo ingredients, like the tubular steel space frame with unequal length control arms at each corner, and a big V12 spat right in the middle, facing backwards at the transmission slot between the two seats. Now, like the Diablo, the Murcielago's body was sheathed in carbon fiber. Besides the roof and the butterfly doors, those are steel. They could be built out of boogers for all I care, and I'd still want to lick them. The roof is only 4 feet off the ground. It's not even as high as my leg. And speaking of legs, the interior of the Murcielago is a little bit of a quirky and an interesting place to be. It's got adequate room for most drivers meaning not me. I feel like I'm trying to touch my winky to my nose here in the seating position. The steering wheel isn't quite in the center, and the seat is facing towards the middle. So if I look straight ahead, I feel like I'm looking over the right fender. And the pedals are squeezed all the way to the right of the pedal box, because the left front tire's right there. And when the Lamborghini gets too hot, its variable airflow cooling system, or what us poor people like to call the bat wings, pop up from behind the windows here. Then they sink back into the bodywork when they aren't needed to reduce drag. Designer Luke Donkerwolke, I'm so sorry for the pronunciation, Lucky, worked a few historical references into the body of the Murcielago, like the horizontal window slats from the Mura, which, fun fact, if your hands are smaller than mine, you can actually reach in and touch the engine. I do not recommend doing that to any Lamborghini you see. The forward door shut line traces the wheel arch of the Diablo, and the polygon screens over the rear heat ducts recall the Marzell concept car of 1967. Yes, I know, that front air dam looks pretty low, and it is. Luckily, this does have the front lift system that raises it up. I wish my Corvette had something like that. Instead, I hit everything but the lottery with my front splitter. This thing is fast. It's incredibly fast. Such an experience. The howl from that engine and this gated shifter is like shaking hands with an old friend. Oh. Now, what we have to thank for all that speed and dribble in our underpants is this, the 6.2-liter V12 engine. It produces a whopping 571 rampant Italian horsepowers and 479 foot-pounds of torque. The fastest Corvette at the time made 166 horsepower less. It creates a noise that will make you make noises. It just howls. And while your car holds 5 or 6 quarts of oil, this one holds 12 and a half. That's because of this Lamborghini's dry sump oil system, which allows this V12 to sit 2 inches lower in the engine compartment, resulting in a better center of gravity. That V12 propels this thing to 60 miles an hour in, well, actually there wasn't a set time. Some said it was like 3.5 seconds, others said it was closer to 3.8 seconds, and Jake says he is too afraid to find out. It'll burn through the quarter mile in a little over 11.5 seconds, and onto a top speed of, get this, 205. That V12 puts its power down to all 4 wheels in a 70% rear, 30% front split through, again, this 6-speed gated manual transmission. If crisp had an image in the dictionary, it would be this shifter. The steering is heavy, it's quite heavy in fact, and it's geared extremely long, so when you're playing around in this thing, you really can't leave like second gear. You're going to be doing like quadruple the speed limit. Now those numbers and statistics are important, but what's more important is the way that this car makes you feel and the experience as you climb to those statistics. The noises, the vibrations, everyone looking at you, it's absolutely incredible. I love the fact that I can't see anything in the back window because I know I'm in something very, very special. The side mirrors and you just see these big flat planes. They're just like big blocks, and the mirrors are unlike any other car I've ever driven. A massive thank you to Salem from Boda Automotive and Rick and Haleem at Euro Motorsports and H&M Motorworks for making this whole thing possible. I'll include links to all of their social media and all their websites down in the description below. Check them out. Support those who really help this channel out. Only a handful of people on the planet get to drive gated manual Lamborghini Murcielagos, and I'm thrilled to be one of those people. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy motoring.
It's been a while since I've seen a Murcielago in public.
Oh yeah.
It looks like an 06?
Oh 02.
02.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.